Actually meant to take a photo of the Sydney Daily Telegraph on Saturday because I did take a photo.
Yeah.
And on it you can see the 3 good things from one B Zarafa. And if you took the multi, it was $122.
If you took it.
Did you take the multi?
No, good evening, Russ. Good evening, everyone. No, I didn't take the multi. I had a little bit of double earlier in the day, but wasn't brave enough to go the 3 all up.
So you threw in Jackanoe Bay.
Yep, I liked it. And also, It's a Done Deal.
Oh, no, you also like Shootout.
Yeah.
And you threw in Pampalone as your good thing of the day to bring it all home, baby.
Yes, so it was not
So
a
it was
bad
your
day.
$8 into $5.50. We'll talk about
I don't bet that big, Russ. I had a little small investment, but certainly did give it a good cheer.
So the wrapping or slapping is those 4 runners, or what are you doing?
No, I'm going to give a rap to the Australian Turf Club for their effort at Randwick last Saturday. Difficult conditions with the way the site is with the construction of the grandstand at the moment, but I went out and did a bit of venturing out in the public, walked around the...
I saw that photo that you ventured out and got on the Sunday paper. What was going on there?
No, it was just having a look around to see the different types
A couple of fillies that
were parading at Randwick on Saturday.
How'd they look?
Very good. I do say that the Sydney Fillies turned out in force there on Saturday.
And the disco that was going on in the infield, the Corona Bar, how'd
it
that
got
go?
it got a bit of a mute button, I think, after about race 5, and I think that was from one senior racing official got straight on the phone and wasn't too impressed. So, but everyone looked to be having a great time, and that's what the racing's all about. Yes, we love the punt and getting out there and enjoying the horses, but it is a big party atmosphere, and that's what's about, getting people to the track.
And speaking of that, just as a heads up, this weekend, of course, they're at Rosehill Gardens. The first 3,000 fillies on course get a iconic gift bag worth over $75, plus $15,000 in the fashions on the field. We'll go racing for real again. $7,500 up for grabs, so that's 5% of the winner's prize money in the Stan Fox Stakes.
And
and
there's only about 5 nominations for the race at this stage.
So you're a great chance to win that. Direct trains from Central to the track, plus buses from the Hills District and Homebush. And, of course, there's only one game of football on in Sydney this weekend, so no excuses not to get to the races. Shootout, one of your good things, $4.80 into $4, late $4.40 into $4, and started favourite.
Yeah, I think he just proves his class there, Shootout, on Saturday. But it was a very interesting betting race because Rangi Rangdu was solid right throughout the market, around the $6.50 mark. And I think
Dan Lee blew like a gale.
Yeah, Dan Lee was blue, and he just doesn't seem to handle the Randwick Mile. But the big plunge was all too hard.
Yeah.
This was...
Were you surprised by that? I couldn't believe it.
Personally, I haven't been sort of on the all too hard bandwagon, so I was surprised in that respect. But there were some very sharp judges declaring this horse...
And they were gone after 50 metres.
There it is on the outside.
And his run was big, but I just couldn't work out whether this race is going to be suitable because there didn't look to be a lot of pace on paper. And his run's good. Look, he's got to the line alongside their Secret of Morris. She's a genuine Group 1 horse. Like, his performance is good. But the plunge, like to start $3.80, he got into it one stage, then back into about $4.20. It was a big betting race, this, and it was a lot of money on all too hard.
The strange thing was that they tried a few, including Shootout, a little bit Secret of Morris. It sat there at $6 for a lot of fright, and all of a sudden, they just wanted to back it.
All too hard.
Yeah. 4,000, 5,000, 2,000 each way. Sharpish punters. Well, into 390.
You said you held 100%, not 100%, another a million more this week than you did
Yes,
last
we did. Yeah. We were up $1 million in turnover, pure turnover from the previous Saturday, and it sort of levelled out. And then probably the late money was for Shootout, but I was stunned for the money all too hard.
Okay. All too hard is becoming all too hard for a lot of punters. Jim from Newcastle, enough of all too hard. The horse is overrated. Simple. It has to be. It was pre-post favourite for the Golden Slipper. Sires, Golden Rose has won nothing. His form reads like an average horse, not a $10 million crack colt. And you suggested gelding. Well, they're not going to geld him.
That won't be happening.
That won't be happening. I just thought I'd throw it in.
It's an interesting
it's
point
a fair
you
comment.
made. It's definitely a fair comment, and it's a comment that you made previously regarding Commanding Jewel. If this horse All Too Hard wasn't Black Caviar's little brother, would he have been favourite or so short in the market in a lot of races? Yes, his wins have been good, but he won 2 races in Melbourne. He won a size produce against OK opposition. Then he come to Sydney and run a very good race in the Pago the week before the slipper. He dodged the slipper. And he ran a good second to Piero in the size produce.
But he was smashed by
Diademi's runs second to Piero. Epaulette's run second to Piero. These horses haven't come out and then started as short in the market as he has, and I think it's just got a lot to do with the fact that he's Black Caviar's little brother.
I remember that the day when he was in the Pago, you and I were having a conversation on another show, and you said that the joint just said, everybody who wants to back All Too Hard, I think it was $1.70 or $1 whatever. It might have even been the size, to be quite honest. Just roll up with us. We're happy to lay it until the
That's right. Yep.
the lights go off.
Yeah, it's. I've written an article this week about that instant boom on horses. And obviously there's an extra one with All Too Hard, but after that size, explosive at Flemington, and they go into these sort of more match races very quickly, and all of a sudden that boom gets tested early, goes up in smoke. They forget how to win or how to race tactically. They're only young. And all of a sudden they're wondering what to do with the horse.
Yeah, I think the horse has got genuine ability. Like we said before, he finished alongside Secret Admirer there in a Group 1 weight for age race. I know he had 50.5 kilos on his back, but he's a serious horse, but he just needs to sort of work himself out and just get his racecraft a little bit better, because he'll win a good race down the track.
I reckon you've got to be patient with him, and you don't have to be too patient with Shootout, because he'll back up in a couple of weeks' time in the Epsom, and he's at $6.50. Fat Al's got to have one more run, or does he?
He's nominated to run this Saturday in the Shannon Stakes. He'll have Ambi Dexter going around there, but
he can scratch more Joyous than Secret Admirer.
Yeah, that's the you can
so all of a sudden there's some value out there.
Well, I think Shootout, he's going to be hard to beat. He's got 58 kilos. He's going to give the likes of Ambi Dexter and Fat Al 6 kilos. But you've seen there, the proof is in the pudding. He's a genuine Group 1 mile horse at Randwick.
Yep.
Absolutely loves it. Rangi Rangdu, $13. He gets half a kilo off Shootout.
I think it's sensational value.
He's Pierre de Terre, that was the horse he won't even be in the Epsom. I reckon you get even money, he'll be in the field.
Don't worry, punters, I'll find you a winner one day. It'll take a couple of times, but I'll
find
you.
What was that horse last week?
Schnitzerland.
St Mark?
Schnitzerland. Don't worry about St Mark. That's ancient history. Talk about the winners. We like to promote winners, not losers. Jimmy Cassidy, your other rap, showed a McLean pair of hills in the race with
Norzita.
Longport and Norzita. Although he had to win it in the steward's room, it was the T-Rose.
Yep.
It was part of a race-to-race double for Jimmy. Now, he gets the gong because I don't even think that the connections thought Longport would win this race. It was $26 out to 81s.
Yeah, well, she'd beaten Norzita the start before when Norzita started favourite at Warwick Farm and got into all sorts of trouble. She's just tough on pace, Longport, and fights it out pretty gamely here.
Here's where the trouble starts.
Norzita's thrown away the race, really, because she's laid in under pressure and crowded Longport, which has probably thrown away the race. Norzita was there to go straight past her. She just died on her run. Dear Demi was heavily backed. A lot of people singled her out as the horse to beat.
Protest market. Richie Callender would say $1.70 dismissed, $2.30 upheld.
I was happy to be on the dismissed. I was in the press room at the time listening to the evidence in the steward's room via TVN's coverage, and I sort of turned around once I'd heard all the coverage, and Mark Van Gessel, the leading steward at the time, was giving his spiel, and the way he even was talking to me, it just suggested I was going to be dismissed. I went around and started typing my stories on other races and not on that one, and then I come out 5 minutes later. I come out 5 minutes later and was surprised it was upheld.
Yeah.
But it was one of those ones when you went back and looked at the footage, you thought, could have gone either way. I'm not going to blow about it.
If they uphold that, then they've got to start to uphold a few more when there's a serious bump, because that was a nose, and if there's a head...
My argument is if it happened at the 600 or the 800... there's bigger bumps and whatnot there. I know it's happened right on the post, but did it really make that much of a difference?
I thought Corey Brown did everything he could do to straighten up Norzita. As soon as he rolled in slightly, put the whip away, and he was going past Longport anyway. Thoughts? Cheers, Harry.
I'd have to have a look at the footage again. From my eye, it looked like he was still working away the left.
If she goes straight, she wins. There's no doubt she took his line, her line, but my point is that be consistent from here on in.
I thought it'd be dismissed. Purely, and I know what you're saying there with that horse, but Jimmy, the way he rides, is wielding away the whole time, and kept going to the line. So all the credits with him.
I think now,
to me, looking at that again, had to be dismissed.
The rules now are in place. If you cross over someone's lane, then you have to be penalised, and that was only a nose.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. There should be more protests. If you get whacked at the 600-metre mark and you lose 2 lengths, that's worth 2 lengths.
Yeah, and it's all dependent on the margin. Like if the margin there was ahead, I can't imagine it would have been upheld, but because the margin was so tight, it was a nose.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
Puts the stewards in a difficult position.
Yeah.
Righto, well, plenty to look forward to from a punting perspective there with the Epsom and Cox Plate runners all running around in that race, and indeed some Caulfield Cup runners as well. We'll go to a break and come back and discuss some more topics from Randwick on Saturday afternoon.